Hello everybody, welcome back to the Oriental Beauty Valley MXGP of China. Quick turnaround here for MX2 Race 2. Usually about this time of day we have that 1 hour break between MXGP Race 1 and MX2 Race 2. But because of the weather, the conditions, the threat of that storm that's coming in and looming in fast, we are back, and back with a vengeance as well. It is going to be an absolutely tough, challenging, brutal Race 2 for the MX2 riders today. Not the usual couple hours that they get between the end of the first race and the start of the second race. In fact, it's just about an hour before they do battle again in what is a hot, humid Grand Prix here at the Shanghai International Off-Road Circuit. We'll show you the highlights of Race 1 in a few moments' time, but as it stands right now, Lucas Coenen is doing all he can to keep the MX2 World Championship well and truly alive. The circuit here, 1,620 meters long, 1.007 miles long, and from the finish line back down the start straight through the first couple of corners on the exit of turn 3 is where we get our first intermediate sector, the end of sector 1. We go beyond that on the entry into turn 8 for the end of sector 2. A few corners later, the end of sector 3, and then basically to the finish line is where we complete the lap, and we get a lap time and all our splits are complete. The racetrack here is still dry, still loamy. It's more the wind that we are concerned about here today rather than the rain. The rain will come later on and through tomorrow. But if you're joining us for the first time today, a very warm, hot, humid welcome to Shanghai for round 19 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. We're running at sea level. The circuit is loose underneath. It's loamy down the start straight in one or two places as well. But the first time here since 2019 when it was the final round. Jorge Prado was victorious on that occasion in MX2. He'd already been crowned world champion. Here's what happened in MX2 Race 1 earlier on today. And there were a few twists and tails. The gate dropped, and it was Lucas Coenen who came away. Gates over on the left-hand side there, number 96. Came away with his third foxhole shot of the season. Laengenfelder tucked in behind him, and then it was Everts just behind in third place. Kai de Wolf emerging around about 6th place as things settled down. Look how heavy, look how deep that first turn is. But that was Coenen over the foxhole shot line. Laengenfelder, and as we came out into the first couple of corners, the 47 of Karlis Reisulis was 4th, and then he made this move on Everts to move into 3rd place. That was on lap 3, that was for 3rd. Kai de Wolf was lurking in the background as well, but the hot and humid conditions eventually got the better of Reisulis. Not the only one either to suffer in the heat. Everts found his way back by on lap 10 to move into 3rd. Kai de Wolf got up the inside of him as well a lap later to move into 4th. De Wolf riding a very methodical race. Adamo then got the better of Elzinger as he moved into 6th on lap 13, and on exactly the same part of the racetrack. A lap later he found his way past the now fading Karlis Reisulis. Adamo was now up in 5th place. De Wolf got the better of Everts. This was on the same lap at the end of lap 14 to move into 3rd. So it was only a 5-point gain from his teammate Lucas Coenen at the head of the field. Andrea Adamo felt the heat and came under attack on the final lap. Mikkel Harp going through to move into 5th on that final lap. But it was Lucas Coenen who was victorious by more than 5 seconds over Simon Laengenfelder, Kai de Wolf, Liam Everts and Mikkel Harp. But then there was a twist. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Simon Laengenfelder was docked 5 World Championship points for not respecting a waved yellow flag. It won't affect the overall classification, so if he wins race 2, he can win the Grand Prix, but it was just points in the championship. Anyway, Lisa Leyland was down on the grid. She caught up with one of our Aussies, that is Jace Cosford on the Yamaha, but before that, Andrea Adamo.
We're almost ready for the second MX2 race of the day, but I want to grab a few words with Red Bull KTM Factory MX2 rider Andrea Adamo. Andrea, in that first race, it looked like you took some time to warm up, then you made some nice passes to get into P6. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was good. I was P5 till last lap, but then Mikkel passed me. Yeah, exactly. It took me some time, but I'm pretty confident. I'm not so specialist of straightaway time practice, so this morning was a little bit like this, but up to get a good start like before, and then to have some battles.
Okay, it's a really tight turnaround for you guys. The races are close together. How do you cool down in between the races and recuperate?
With cold water. Nice. Yeah, I went in cold water and I cooled down. But actually, for me, it's better. I like this, like MX on style, you know. We need to race MX on, so good to get used.
Enjoy the second race. Thank you, Andrea. Okay. Now, the next rider I'd like to speak to is Australian rider Jace Cosford, who we haven't seen lining up before because it's your first MXGP, isn't it? How's your first impressions of this event?
Yeah, it's been a great experience. Racing in a different country like this is so different. All the food and everything like that. If I'm being honest, I don't feel great body-wise. But yeah, the level here is really high, and it's a really good experience to learn. So yeah, I'm having a great fun, and yes, this next motor is going to be pretty tough.
I mean, it is intense conditions this weekend, but also another good thing, a positive to have you guys over here, is that we're going to be in Australia, in Darwin next year. The first time since 2001 we're going to hold a Grand Prix there. That's exciting, isn't it?
It sure is, yeah. Having a World GP in our country, it's been a long time coming, so I think it'll be great for Aussies and everyone around to have it in Australia again, and yeah, can't wait.
Best of luck for this second race. Thank you, Jace. Okay, good luck to the guys. It's time for MX2 Race 2.
The last time we came here, it was an absolutely packed grandstand, but obviously with the threat of the weather and stuff like that, no surprise that maybe one or two people staying away. Look at that, look, we're well and truly at the bottom of page 2. The Oriental Beauty Valley MXGP of China here in Shanghai is almost done and dusted. MX2 Race 2 getting underway in just a few moments' time. 2 weeks later, we head to the final round. The MXGP of Castilla-La Mancha in Cozar, south of Madrid, about 3.5 hours south of Madrid, and similar distance west of Valencia. And then the week after that, so 3 races in 4 rounds, 3 races in 4 weeks, we finish with the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations at Matterley Basin. Simon Laengenfelder goes to the line on pole position. It was his first pole position of the season. He leaves it right to the penultimate round. But Lucas Coenen goes alongside him, and then it's Liam Everts, Kai de Wolf, Mikkel Harp, Karlis Reisulis, Rick Elzinga, Camden McClellan, Lucas Coenen coming away with the Foxhole shot in race 1 for the 3rd time this year. Thibaut Beneston lines up in 9th, ahead of David Braceras, and then Ferruccio Zanchi, Andrea Adamo, Jens Wolvort, Kai Karsmakers, Brody Connolly, and Jace Cosford, with Hao Yu Li, Zhu Xiao Hui, and Zhang Liang Fang. Certainly is. Simon Laengenfelder could not capitalise on his pole position in race 1. Can he get the better of Lucas Coenen as we reach the first turn and the exit as that over the Foxhole shot line in race 2? Lucas Coenen just putting the nursery blocks down there, just in case he can't touch the floor, both feet. Joking, of course. 5.16 of Simon Laengenfelder, deemed to have not respected waved yellow flags, has been docked 5 World Championship points. Even when he finished 2nd in race 1, it was now mathematically impossible for him to be world champion in 2024. That penalty just banging the nail in the coffin. Kai de Wolf, a steady ride for him, a methodical ride to 3rd. He only lost 5 points in the championship chase. And he'll be looking to have a similar ride here. The gap now between 1st and 2nd, 39. It was 44 at the start of the weekend. It looks more and more likely that this MX2 World Championship will be decided in the final round in Europe. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time this weekend. The Oriental Beauty Valley MXGP of China here at Shanghai. The 5-second board turns. A very, very quick turnaround for the MX2 riders here, who will prevail on what has been a hot, humid weekend here. Sweeping around the outside, the 47. Can he keep it nice and tight? Yes, he can. Karlis Reisulis over the line for his 2nd Foxhole shot of his MX2 career, the very short career And it's the Monster Energy Yamaha rider who leads from Laengenfelder. Coenen losing out to Everts on that opening exchange of corners. And De Wolf up the inside as well. And he finds his way past Coenen. Goes from 5th to 4th. And 3rd if he can find his way past Everts. Everts keeping a very big elbow to the outside there though. De Wolf is there in that 4th place. Well, I tell you what, that'll be like red mist to a bull, won't it, to Lucas Coenen. He was very cool, calm and collected in race 1. He'll need to have that same mindset, that same composure in race 2 if he's to get the better of his teammate and gain more points in the championship standings. And he's already on the charge, isn't he? He's found his way past Everts as well, moves into 3rd place. Kai De Wolf, one thing on his mind. Was he just preserving energy for race 2? Doesn't want to go too hard too soon because it will come back and bite him in the backside if he's not careful, and he could lose more positions and points than he can gain. But looking good, feeling good at the moment. He's struck early on his teammate, who's there in the middle as they hit the jump now. As we hit the line, Reisulis 2.5 seconds clear, but he definitely popped the cork way too early in race 1 because he blew a gasket, blew himself out of contention as he faded back to 9th place in the end. But it's Reisulis, Laengenfelder, De Wolf, Everts here in 4th, under pressure from his fellow countryman, the 96 of Coenen. And he looks to find his way back past, and he does. He moves up in the 4th place. Great move that from Coenen, but he loses out on the exit. He'll gain it back again in the next turn. Oh, he tags Everts on the way through. Everts cartwheels into the right-hander. He's pinned under his motorcycle. And he can't get out. And hopefully that's not exhaust pipe down. But Everts down hard. Everts out of 5th. And Elzinger's got a problem. He's fallen on that left shoulder. Everts still down on his 50th Grand Prix start. 4th in race 1. He was eyeing up a podium. Wave medical flags need to be the other side of the rider there, I think. But anyway, up front, Reisulis 3 seconds clear. Laengenfelder and De Wolf now pushing on, trying to close in on the race leader. De Wolf upping the pace, that's for sure. 1 or 2 drops of rain once again on our lens over on that side of the racetrack. Just prior to the final corner here. Lucas Coenen about 1.5 seconds further back. And that was a violent crash for Liam Everts, wasn't it? He went down, he couldn't get away from the bike, and that's normally the problem when you get turned upside down inside the bike there and you can't break free from it. Coenen 4, McClellan 5, Harp 6, Bracera 7, Carsmakers, Walvort, Cosford in 10th place, the Aussie, Chase Cosford on the Yamaha, Beniston 11, Adamo, Zanke. There's your Wave Medicals through this turn here, wheels on the ground, up and over the triple jump as Everts is dealt with just trackside there. It would have been better to send the riders around the outside of the incident if there was more room there, but anyway, Reisulis 4 seconds clear. So Reisulis then, who was the fastest on the opening lap. Here's Lucas Coenen. He's lost ground to Camden McClellan. McClellan 4th, and of course, heading into race 1, Lucas Coenen, he left the media opportunity yesterday, the media event yesterday. Before it even got there, he called in sick. Well, with a victory in race 1, how much energy did he use winning that first race? Has he spent all those reserves? And is he going to lose more ground? So he gained 5 points in race 1. Is he going to lose that ground in race 2 because of sickness? We'll soon find out, won't we? Reisulis leads the way. This is Laengenfelder. That gap creeping out towards 5 seconds again between the Monster Energy Yamaha and the Red Bull Gas and the Nissan Husqvarna. fact, it's 4.7 seconds at the end of lap 2. De Wolf third, McClellan up to fourth with that move on Coenen a moment ago. And looking back here, Laengenfelder knows he's got to go defensive. He wasn't clean coming out of that second corner, just too deep in that turn. And of course, no overtaking here, wheels on the ground. Let's take another look at the Everts crash as Lucas Coenen charges his way down the inside here, coming into this right-hander. He got alongside him. Everts, he just went straight. They were going for the same rut, but Everts then got folded upside down, inside out through the turn. It looked worse from the other angle there, but then he got pinned underneath and he couldn't get out from underneath the bike. And Everts there, completely trapped. And I'm guessing the rear wheel spinning possibly on his chest. Elzinga went down a lap ago. We didn't see it, but it was dirt on the left shoulder, and he was nursing that arm. So Elzinga out of the race as well. But it's Karlis Reisulis, almost 6 seconds clear. Well, he tried this in race 1, didn't he? Tried this in Switzerland, I believe, as well. Tried to go for broke, and came good for him there in the second race with a second place finish. But here comes Kai de Wolf. He is looking to gain ground, the ground that he lost to his teammate in race 1, which was 5 points, which is the difference between first and third in the race. Stands right now, de Wolf on 20 points. 4 points difference between de Wolf and Coenen as it stands right now in this second race. But de Wolf is getting closer, isn't he? Got absolutely nothing to lose. If he can keep it around about 40-odd points, then that is almost job done when we return to Spain. He fights the front end there in that left-hander, though. The left was just, the turn was, the front wheel was just tucking as he hit that left-hand turn. I'll put my teeth back in a minute. But Laengenfelder doing a great job. We've got Everts to the inside, out of harm's way then. But just looking at the way that he was pinned underneath that motorcycle, just wondering if the wheel was just spinning up across his chest there or anything else, or if it was just dazed as a result of that and couldn't move from underneath the motorcycle. De Wolf, clear vision as he goes after Laengenfelder in turn 7. He will try to go outside, inside here if he can, and he does! And he tags the side of Laengenfelder. And that is a very precarious situation to be in, because if your front wheel catches the foot peg of the rider there, you're in danger of rattling spokes out of that front wheel, and which then will mean you possibly run the risk of not finishing the race. So hopefully he stayed well away from the foot peg of Laengenfelder in that little exchange. But this is for second position. Comes at the German again. Into the final corner. He's setting himself up here to go high and wide. And he'll try to get the drive coming back out of the turn. And he's alongside. Laengenfelder knows he's there. He squeezes him even further. Why, he did that to Zanke a week ago. This time, de Wolf looking to go there. And here's the thing. Laengenfelder, he can't win the championship now. So it's pointless fighting unless it's for the overall Grand Prix classification, which it is, because he's on 44 points. Lucas Coenen on 41, de Wolf on 40. So he's fighting for every single point because he wants a Grand Prix victory. He hasn't had one of those in 2024. So could this be the day that he gets his first pole position and first Grand Prix victory of the season? Well, de Wolf charges down the inside. He gets back alongside the Gas rider. Still not able to find his way through, but he was very quick through here in race 1. De Wolf not able to find his way through this time around. Oh, and de Wolf off the side of the track through those waves. Just asking a little bit too much. Back end as he came out of that rut, just stood him up and then went out to the outside. He had a similar moment here. Watch this here. Just in the deep stuff. Got cross-rutted. Oh, folded the front as well. Almost out the front door. Almost out the side door. Somehow he lives to fight another lap. Big let-off for your championship leader. Had he gone down there, Lucas Coenen would have been gaining more points on his rival. But as it stands right now, the third rider in shot here, Lucas Coenen, still trying to find his way back past McClellan. And that mistake has cost De Wolf about 2.7 seconds, and it's brought McClellan and Coenen back into play. Well, if there was ever such thing as a white carrot, well, Lucas Coenen has just seen it in the form of his teammate about 2 seconds further up the track, a second and a half up the track. And if he was starting to wilt in the heat, guess what? A little bit of water soon perks you up, springs you back into life, and that is what Coenen is going to be hoping for here. Not easy when you're riding sick though. Already having to go well into your energy reserves, even when you're 100% in these kind of humid conditions. To do it when you're feeling a little bit second-hand, a little bit below par, well, that's a different thing altogether, isn't it? If you're just joining us, Everts went out early on the second lap. Elzinger also had a fall and has retired from the race. But Lucas Coenen, who was victorious in race 1, looking to go down the inside of Camden McClellan on that Monster Energy Triumph. McClellan hanging on to 4th position. Knows he's got Lucas Coenen behind him on the Nissan Husqvarna, who is trying absolutely everything to find his way past the number 8, whose teammate Harp is parked in 6th position, about 4 seconds further back. A back marker on the way in there, possibly catching Lucas Coenen out. Wasn't able to find his way past the South African, and it's cost him time as well. Here is your race leader. Just under 18 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Karlis Reisulis, did he just break his own rhythm and therefore couldn't find the groove, couldn't get back to it, and then obviously the heat, the humidity just maybe catching up with him. But now here he is, leading the way, trying to run away with it. 5 seconds clear at the moment. Even if he starts to lose a second a lap, he's going to be on par with Laengenfelder and De Wolf. There's a potential here for him to pick up his first race win in MX2, Karlis Reisulis. But he's going to need help from Laengenfelder, De Wolf and McClellan and those guys, in the fact that he's going to need them to fade in the heat, as everyone probably is going to fade in the latter stages of the race. Race 1, the fastest lap time was a 1:40.575 by Karlis Reisulis. It's Camden McClellan fastest in race 2 with a 1:43.066. Can't see the track getting any quicker than that, which means Karlis Reisulis is probably going to take the Acherbis fastest lap this weekend. The fastest lap over both races. Lucas Coenen on the liquid molly jump, going after the rider in the yellow pants, Camden McClellan. Couldn't find his way through here a lap ago because of a back marker. You see the difference it's made this time around. Clear track is still right there on the rear wheel of the number 8. And looking to pounce as soon as he can. Lucas Coenen, though, fastest in sector 2 this time around. Here's De Wolf, 2.9 seconds down on Simon Laengenfelder. Put the flag out now. Laengenfelder goes 2-2, wins the Grand Prix with 44 points. Lucas Coenen, 1-5, will pick up 41 points. So even if he finds his way past Camden McClellan, it's only going to give him another couple of points. That'll put him on 43. Laengenfelder will still win. How deep can the young Belgian here, in black and white, dig to get himself on the top step of the podium and deny the Red Bull Gas a victory? Every round so far, all 18 rounds have been won by riders from the Benelux. If Laengenfelder wins today, he will break that dominance here in China. Right, the riders between 7th and 11th have all improved a position. So Cars Makers up to 7, Benistan 8, Adamo 9, Zanki 10, Cosford 11, possibly at the expense of Wolvort, who is in 12th place. Here's Cars Makers, the 33, on the Fantic Factory MX2 machine. Thibaut Benistan just behind him. This is for 7th place. And then Adamo, who was strong in the latter stages of race 1, to get himself up into 6th place. Well, he was 5th, wasn't he, until the final half lap. when Harp came through. He's getting ready to join this this party here. A bit of a six-wheeler going on as these three riders battle over 7th place, which is currently headed up by the 33 of the rider from the Netherlands, Kai Karsmakers, on that Fantic. And he's eyeing up 9th overall this weekend, is Karsmakers. That'll be his best Grand Prix finish of the season. It was 11th in Germany, but Benetton looking to go the long way round here. Launches back onto the rear wheel of the 33. Does Benetton, who's taken way too long to find his way past the Dutchman. But he does find his way past at the end of pit lane. Thibaut Benetton up into 7th place. Next rider for Karsmakers to worry about is the 80, the defending champion, the outgoing champion soon to be, Andrea Adamo. The Red Bull KTM rider gets the distance, dropping into turn 3, and he neatly finds his way up the inside of Karsmakers as he moves up into 8th place. Meanwhile, here's Coenen, still not sure what to do about the problem that is Camden McClellan at the moment, the Monster Energy Triumph rider, who was 7th in race 1, currently 4th in race 2. He is eyeing up 5th overall, the rider who started the weekend 9th in the championship. And with 13 minutes plus 2 laps remaining, Karlis Reisulis is still hanging it out, 5.1 seconds clear of Laengenfelder. The lap times last time around were almost identical, 1:44.008, 1:44.090. So again, the pace is evened up ever so slightly. Reisulis just over the line at 1:44.779, but the cracks are now starting to show. Laengenfelder 1:43.9, the gap down to 2.8. We are going to have a battle on at the sharp end here, and it's going to involve Reisulis and Laengenfelder in probably before the end of the lap. Camden McClellan still doing a great job of keeping Lucas Coenen at bay here. These two fighting over 4th place. Looking to get in and out of that turn early. Here is your leader, the 47 of Karlis Reisulis. He was 28.9 in Sector 1 compared to the 29.3. So he's managed to pull something. So there must have been a mistake there for Reisulis, because he's got the gap back out to 3.2 seconds. So if that was the case, he has done very, very well to recover that. Looking good though, isn't he? The 47 from Latvia. Just looking around, wants to survey the situation. Probably wondering where everybody is. And when I say everybody, he's thinking, where's Kyle Wolf? Where's Laengenfelder? Where's Coenen? Where's Everts? Where are all the big hitters? How am I still here? 3 seconds up. Well, that gap down is 2.8 seconds again, so there's been a good response from Laengenfelder this time around, because Sector 2, Reisulis losing half a second. Oh, and the number 8 of McClellan down from 4th. Coenen now into that 4th place. Over the line, 10 laps complete then for Karlis Reisulis. A 1:44.196 for the Monster Energy Yamaha rider. Laengenfelder hits the line this time around at 1:45.253. The gap 3.9 seconds between 1st and 2nd. There is still almost 11 minutes on the clock though. The time is ticking down, and De Wolf has closed in on Laengenfelder. Maybe Laengenfelder is just starting to feel the effects of the heat and humidity now. This would help Lucas Coenen in his quest for a Grand Prix victory as well, because Laengenfelder, if he loses a position here, that puts him on 42. Lucas Coenen is already on 43. And De Wolf will move to 42 as well. And De Wolf gets around the outside. Well, again, the back end just starts to swap out of line there. Not as violent as it did a couple of laps ago, where he kind of went off track. But he senses his opportunity here, certainly to gain a couple of points over his closest rival, which is also his teammate. Back end lights up there of Laengenfelder, and then just as he gets into the deep stuff there, oh, that was a couple of laps ago. So you see what I mean. Same part of the racetrack, different result, second time around. Laengenfelder hanging on now by the skin of his teeth. Having to really dig in deep. He can hear that Husqvarna to the outside. There's a back marker there. Oh, and I tell you what, De Wolf almost capitalised on that, didn't he, as the mobile traffic chicane just sits there in the middle of the track, hoping the riders go right by. That's exactly what they do. Laengenfelder hanging on to that second place. But 9 minutes to go. The gap back down to 2.2 between Reisulis and Laengenfelder. And the big question is, if De Wolf gets himself into second, and I was about to say, can Reisulis sustain the pressure? He goes out of the lead, and De Wolf takes over the lead. He goes from third to second to first, and all of a sudden, Laengenfelder coming back by him. De Wolf fighting back though, and he regains the lead. He closes off the attack from Laengenfelder. What a crazy couple of corners there, because Reisulis was doing everything right. He just tips over in that second corner. The gap was coming down anyway. The question was, if De Wolf gets into second, how long before he finds his way onto the rear wheel of Reisulis? Well, Reisulis basically sorted that out for us, because he tipped over. De Wolf got up the inside of Laengenfelder. Those two went cat and mouse. But we have a new leader this time around on lap 12, and it's the championship leader, Kai De Wolf. And that may have implications for the top step of the podium as well, because potentially Kai De Wolf could come away from here with another Grand Prix victory under his belt. Maybe he was sandbagging a little bit in race 1, just doing enough, knowing that race 2 is where this Grand Prix could be won or lost, or maybe even the World Championship could be won or lost in the greater scheme of things, the bigger picture, where you can gain more points in race 2. You're stronger. 3 strong laps. Just put in the burst now. Distance yourself from Laengenfelder, from Lucas Coenen, because that gap is about 2.5 seconds back to his teammate. 2.8 now. Is that a big ask though? Laengenfelder hasn't gone anywhere, has he? Look, he's right there, 1.3, lurking dangerously in the wings. Lucas Coenen is only 1.4 seconds back, and with 7 minutes plus 2 to go, there is still a lot of laps. I think there's still going to be a lot of action still to come in the latter stages. Beniston and Adamo, these two fighting over 6th place. Adamo looking to get down the inside of the Frenchman, but can't show him a wheel. Back marker doing his best to stay out of the way there, and he does. Adamo goes to the outside though on the number 80. The reigning world champ. Beniston making it very difficult for the 80. Here's the battle for second though. Laengenfelder under attack from Lucas Coenen, who breezes by the German and takes that second place at the first time of asking. It's an Husqvarna 1-2 once again, and Lucas Coenen all of a sudden with 6 minutes to go has come alive. Was he saving energy for a tilt at a double race victory? Let's get the riders over the line, shall we? Lap times and all the rest of it. De Wolf, 13 laps in the books, a 1:44.630. Coenen, a 1:43.9. The gap, 2.2 seconds. Laengenfelder, 1.1 behind Lucas Coenen now. That's going to put him third overall, but Lucas Coenen in Grand Prix winning contention. He's going to go 1-2 here, 47 points if he stays where he is. De Wolf is going to be second with a third and a win for 45. Laengenfelder 2-3. But then a gap back to Harp, who's going to be fourth overall. As the sun comes out again, the wind continues to pick up here though in Shanghai. And with this heat coming back out, the humidity is going to rise, the heat is going to intensify. these riders in the next 5 minutes plus 2 laps will absolutely feel it as well, because when the sun bursts out from beneath the clouds, everybody comments how hot these conditions are. But Coenen, you can see, is right in the wake of his teammate now. The gap down to less than 1.5 seconds, less than a second maybe, as they head down the back straight, land in those deep ruts through this left-hander. We get another intermediate sector here, the gap going from 1.6 to 1.5. Still, De Wolf in control, in command. Half a lap to go last weekend. Coenen found his way past his teammate De Wolf to make it a double race win in Afyon, Turkey. Will there be a similar outcome here? Will he find his way past his teammate? The mechanic did say 3 big laps. You are stronger, you are faster, gave him all the right information, Kai De Wolf. Well, he's still hanging on by about 1.2 seconds. But how impressive have Husqvarna Factory Racing been in 2024? Laengenfelder now 4.5 seconds further back in 3rd place. Reisulis still there in 4th. It's going to be 5th overall for the Latvian. Adamo up the inside of Benistan. Benistan knows he wants to come back. Adamo reads him like a book. Keeps him back there in that 6th place, 7th place, because Benistan occupying 6 at the minute. Sorry, Adamo occupying 6 at the minute, Benistan 7. And Adamo looking to break free from the Frenchman then. Nothing in it once more. 2.5 minutes plus 2 to go. It's going to be a long 2.5 minutes, depending on what side of the garage you're on in at Nissan Husqvarna Factory Racing. Because De Wolf finds his way past Lucas Coenen. He wins the Grand Prix. Lucas Coenen stays where he is. He wins the Grand Prix. Who wants it more? Well, at the moment, it's Lucas Coenen. And De Wolf has found his way through. So De Wolf then making that move and making it count. Earlier on in the race, but can he hold on? That is the question. Because Coenen coming back right in his wheel tracks now once again. De Wolf took over the lead, didn't he, when Reisulis tipped out in turn 2 a few laps ago. And he got up the inside of Laengenfelder. Those two went back and forth for the next couple of 100 metres or so before he managed to nail down the lead. Lucas Coenen has come from a few positions further back this race. He was in 5th position, wasn't he, behind Camden McClellan. A mistake there from De Wolf, and that's all it took. Can he get back alongside his teammate, who now leads on lap 16? De Wolf coming back for more. The World Championship leader showing that he has the red plate, that he's earned it, and there's a reason for it. Not one to shirk out of a challenge. He makes a mistake as he comes into land. And Coenen now does take over the lead once more. Coenen eyeing up another double race victory. And look at that, about 20 seconds on the clock as they get to the end of the straight here. Which means it's 3 laps remaining for the conclusion of this MX2 Grand Prix here at the Oriental Beauty Valley MXGP of China in Shanghai. But you can already see the intent of the Belgian to try and break the resolve of his teammate Kai De Wolf, just as he did a week ago. This time not leaving anything to chance. Even more impressive, given the fact that he is presumably sick. Right, Damo trying to get up the inside of Reisulis. This is for 5th place. He had a good few laps at the front, didn't he, Karlis Reisulis? But then, when you fall, you make that mistake. Difficult to find your rhythm. And in the end, Andrea Damo eases his way past and up into 5th place. No time to recover between races, hardly. But these guys having to dig deep this weekend. You put the flag out now. Lucas Coenen will go 1-1 for the overall. De Wolf 2nd overall, Laengenfelder 3rd. 2 to go for Lucas Coenen, who now starts to extend his lead. 2.6 seconds between him and Kai de Wolf. See how loose it is. It's very unpredictable, the racetrack here. I think the organisers were expecting a lot more rain to come at this stage of the day. It was predicted for the afternoon, but it's, as we said, it's the winds more the problem. But if the rain came as well, then the track was going to get watered. They've done a great job, though, keeping the circuit in race condition. Probably some of the best conditions that we've had all year, actually, because a little bit loamy, dry, damp in places, not overly wet. Fireman Sam forgot to jump on the fire truck. Here's Adamo. He is in 5th. Beniston is up to 6th now. He's eased past his young Latvian teammate, Reisulis. So Adamo, 5th place for him. Thibaut Beniston still hanging in there. Both Adamo and Beniston finding their way past Reisulis in the final stages of this race. Just over a lap to go. Adamo. There in 5th position, but into the final lap, number 96, Lucas Coenen. Nastan Husqvarna Factory Racing. 4 seconds now between him and Kai de Wolf. He bided his time. His race came alive the second half of the race. That is a proper tactician right there. Didn't panic. Surveyed everything ahead of him early on. And when it came to the push and when it came to the crunch, Lucas Coenen made his way towards the front. Took over the lead. On lap 16, we are now on lap 19, the final lap. And he's on the verge of going 1-1 here once again, Lucas Coenen. Thibaut Beniston is not letting Adamo off the hook. Continues to dog the reigning champion. For Lucas Coenen, it will be a 6th double race victory of the campaign. Be race win number 16 of the season as well. 5 more than Kai de Wolf if he stays where he is. And he is making his way down the home stretch any moment now. Because Adamo here working his way down the back straight. Lucas Coenen is already in the final sector. Here he is coming out of the final turn in a moment. Cosford there in 11th place. He's about to, well, he was about to get lapped, but he lives to finish on the same lap. But it's Coenen who wins here in China. He goes 1-1 for the 6th time this year. He keeps his World Championship very much alive. Kay de Wolf crosses the line second. Laengenfelder hangs on bravely for third. That is going to be your podium. Lucas Coenen, Kay de Wolf and Laengenfelder. Harp over the line fourth. Adamo just hangs on from a hard-charging Beniston. Adamo 5 and Beniston rounding out in 6th place. But Kay de Wolf with a 3-2 second overall. Another podium visit for the championship leader. Laengenfelder third. And for Lucas Coenen, his 15th career podium, his 9th Grand Prix victory. Another outstanding performance from the young Belgian. Sick or not, the conditions here, tough, very tough. But he came through it with flying colours. Just waiting for Jace Cosford to cross the line in 11th place. That's going to be good enough for 13th overall for the Australian. Anyway, here's our Grand Prix winner, Lucas Coenen. Here's with Lisa.
Lucas Coenen, congratulations. Another double race win victory under very difficult conditions. Your championship fight is still very much alive.
Yeah, I need to push. And with temperature, I thought it would be really difficult. But yeah, now it's the heat when you stop, it's more. But I mean, I got the fight on. I want to beat him, and I just want to win every race, let's say. So I'm doing it. So let's see on the final round, we will get fun. And I apologize for Liam. I didn't know. I thought he would go more outside, and I hit him. But I'm so pissed off because I saw his father, and I was like, shit, what did I do? And the whole motor, I was not in my rhythm because of that. But I hope he's okay. And yeah, best of luck to him.
We hope Liam was okay too, and apologies for the language there.
Yeah, the raw emotion there. Obviously, friendly rivals on the track, of course, but no harm intended. Two riders are going to be representing Team Belgium in a few weeks' time at Matchley Basin. Of course, he's not going to do anything deliberate or intentional. But Lucas Coenen goes 1-1 here to win in China. Give it the race result then, shall we? Lucas Coenen wins race 1. Lucas Coenen wins race 2 here in Shanghai from Kay de Wolf, taking another 3 points out of his main rival. Laengenfelder third, Harp fourth, Adamo, Beniston, Reisulis and McClellan with 8th place in the end after that fall from 4th place. That's where he picked himself up. Zanke 9, Cars Makers 10, and then we had Jace Cosford, Jens Wolvort, and then the 3 Chinese riders, but problems for Braceras there. Did not complete more than 6 laps. Everts went out, Elzinger went out, and Connolly also went out early on in the race. GP classification then. And another Grand Prix victory for Lucas Coenen in 2024. 8 now for the season. Kay de Wolf will join him on the podium. 2nd overall, Simon Laengenfelder 3rd, Harp 4th, Adamo 5th, McClellan 6th, Beniston 7, and Reisulis 8. Everts 9, and Ferruccio Zanke 10. Good performance from Jace Cosford. He'll be pleased with that 12th overall. And maybe a bit of an eye-opener as well, just to say, right, okay, how was the pace? And, you know, just to sort of say, right, do I need to work on stuff? If so, what? And everything else. So always good, isn't it, to be outside of your comfort zone. At the championship, 9.15 to 8.79, the gap down to 36 points. It was 44 at the start of the weekend. Laengenfelder can't win the championship. He possibly still he can't challenge for second overall either, because he's more than 60 points down on Lucas Coenen. So first and second are decided. Who will be taking gold, who will take silver in Spain at the final round. Manufacturers' standings look like this. And Husqvarna uncatchable now over KTM and Gas. Take a look at the foxhole shot. Karlis Reisulis, for the second time this season. Herian Braca, the team manager there from Monster and his Yamaha factory MX2, on hand to pick up that red plate. Been a tough, hot GP this weekend, that's for sure. And more than their fair share of riders will be feeling the after effects of that second race. Just look how the wind is starting to pick up once again. As predicted, as suspected. Almost getting ready for the podium. Apologies if they're taking a little bit longer just to take on fluids and get themselves in the best shape possible to make their way out into the sunlight once again. Talk about exposed to the elements this weekend. Well, we're going to get it on all fronts, aren't we? If it's not the sun, it's the humidity. If it's not the humidity, it's the wind. If it's not the wind, it's probably going to be the rain a little bit later on. And it's been one of those weekends, hasn't it? But, pleased to say, this Grand Prix here in China will be completed in just over an hour's time, because MXGP Race 2 is coming up. As soon as we finish with the podium and the interviews, we're straight back down and straight back to the action here at this penultimate round of the championship. Let's try and move this thing along, shall we? Oh, behave. Could be a Bond villain. Or maybe even a character from Austin Powers. Anyway, we await the podium. And the Benelux domination of 2024 continues. Simon Laengenfelder coming so very, very close, but not to be in the end. Third overall this weekend, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing, Simon Laengenfelder, with his 26th podium appearance, the 13th time he's finished third overall in his career. Muted celebrations there for the German, who just wants to be anywhere else but the podium. It's not often you say that. Second overall, Kai de Wolf, your championship leader. His lead has shrunk from 44 points to 36, but he's still very much in pole position, still very much in command with a round to go. Kai de Wolf with his 25th career podium, 11th time a second place finisher, but it's his teammate Lucas Coenen with his 9th Grand Prix victory, his 8th of the season, who will stand on the top step of the podium here in China. Rasmus Jorgensen will go stage left as we look down to the podium. That is all one big LED screen there in the background, by the way, behind the podium. Very impressive. See the MXGP riders making their way to the waiting zone. Zhu Bin, the General Director of the Shanghai Administration of Sports, handing the third place trophy to Simon Laengenfelder, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. second place trophy to Kai de Wolf, and the winner's trophy to Lucas Coenen. A very quick and efficient podium ceremony here. Kind of. Here the fans just down below cooling off the bikes for the MXGP machines. Jorge Villegas, the FIM president, on hand to deliver the winner's trophy to Lucas Coenen, the overall winner here this weekend in China. 6 double race wins now throughout the season. 8 Grand Prix victories under his belt. He's still in contention for an MX2 title 2 weeks from now. Wang Yikeng, the mayor, handing the winner's trophy to Rasmus Jorgensen. Still the matter of the championship leaders red plate though. Kai de Wolf has held it since Spain round 2. He wasn't about to relinquish it here. He put up a fight. The gap now 36 points as he heads to the final round. Next up, national anthem of Belgium for Lucas Coenen. Your top 3 overall here this weekend. The MXGP of the Oriental Beauty Valley here of China. Lucas Coenen, Kai de Wolf, Simon Laengenfelder. We'll talk to the top 3, hopefully, after these highlights. MX2, race 2. This time it was Karlis Reisulis who was first over the Fox hole shot line for the second time this year on that Monster Energy Yamaha. Kai de Wolf tipped down the inside and ran about 5th place. He came out from the first couple of corners. Laengenfelder was there in 2nd. Lucas Coenen 3rd. Everts was in 4th place, quickly into 3rd. But de Wolf went from 5th to 4th as he found his way past his teammate, and then Everts immediately as well, showing that he was putting up a fight and wanted to win the Grand Prix, the championship leader. Lucas Coenen then got the better of Everts. Everts came back to challenge, and then a lap or so later the 2 riders came together. Everts upside down in the turn. He would not finish the race. Your race leader, Karlis Reisulis, fell from 1st, and at the same time de Wolf parked Laengenfelder up the inside. He came back for 2nd, and eventually it was de Wolf who did go on and lead the race. And as that happened, a couple of laps later, Coenen found his way into 2nd, and then around the outside of his teammate to take over the lead. And it was he who went on to win for the 16th time this year. His 8th Grand Prix victory, his 6th double race win of the season. We're back in a moment for MXGP Race 2. We'll see you then.